The economy is bad right now. We have been hit with inflation. Do you feel like you have been hit with inflation? Has it started to making you get behind on your bills? Have you been laid off? Do you feel like you just cannot get ahead? Well, my name is Sharika. I am a business consultant and I help people come up with a plan that they can get out of debt and be financially free. And I offer one-on-one consultations. So I would really appreciate it if you would subscribe to my channel, and you can click in my description to set up an appointment with me so we can begin on your journey with getting out of debt. Well, the first thing that you want to do if you feel like you have been hit with inflation and you are behind on your bills, well, first, you don't want to feel embarrassed, and you have to have a positive mindset. You have to believe that this is only temporary. Things are going to get better. But the first thing you want to do, you want to contact your creditors. Even if you think you're going to be late on your bill, and even if you know for sure you're going to be late on your bill, just be honest with them. Tell the truth. Just say, the economy is bad right now. Even if you're behind on another bill, you let them know and they will understand. Also, ask them, can they set up a payment plan with you? Because I've done this with some of my creditors. If I felt like I was going to be late on payments, I would call them and let them know, and they were willing to, set up a payment plan for me. And also, when you do this also it protects your credit. And also, look at all of your expenses and see what things can you cut back on. Look through your bank statement and actually print it out and see where your money is going. So if you're eating out 4 or 5 times a week, you'll see it in your bank statement, and you might want to start cooking at home. You can still go out to eat, but instead of ordering maybe the most expensive thing on the menu, you can just order something that doesn't cost that much. And also, I noticed that a lot of restaurants, they have specials. So you can go when they have specials, like on Monday. Like for example, Applebee's, they have the 2 for $25. So you have to put yourself on a budget. And also, you have to let other people know that you're on a budget. You're trying to get off, you're trying to get out of debt. So even if you have a spouse, you have to let everybody who, interacts with you know that, hey, I'm on this debt journey. I want to get out of debt. Because when we have a lot of debt, we're the only one that's going to help ourselves get out of debt. We can't, depend on other people to help us. So we have to be disciplined, and we have to be able to tell other people no. You may not be able to go to everything that people invite you to, like parties, buying gifts, showers. You may just have to sit it out, but you have to stay focused on getting out of debt. Also, think of a way that you can bring in extra income, even if you have a full-time job. Well, first you want to look at your work schedule and be realistic. What type of part-time job can you work? And you don't want to overwhelm yourself. So maybe during a week if you work from 8 to 4, maybe you can do 4 hours a day when you get off of work. So you don't want to overwhelm yourself. You can maybe, first ask yourself, what type of part-time job do you want? Because everybody is different. Some people, they like to work in fast food. Some people, they want something flexible like DoorDash or Uber Eats. For some people, it may be gig work. And then you have to tell yourself that this is only temporary. And also, it's a great idea to get a budget journal. I have one. I keep it in my purse. I take it everywhere I go. So basically, I write down all of my expenses. So every time I get paid, like if I get paid on a Friday, I write down all of my bills that has to come out of that check. And when you do this, you will see a big difference. You'll start doing this every week. And then if you have a spouse, or even if you don't have a spouse, you'll notice that you're doing this consistent. And then you can even let them know, hey, I have this, I'm gonna go take 15 minutes to have to do my budget journal. And also, when you go shopping, you have to make sure is it a need or is it a want? Like, for example, if you know you need new jeans and they're just, worn out, that's a need. If hey, these socks are worn out, I need new socks. Well, that's okay. So ask yourself, is it a need or is it a want? Credit card. If you have a credit card, look at your credit card statement and look at your credit card statement and find out what is the interest rate. Because you'd be so amazed. We're so busy, we don't even sometimes look at our credit card statement. And once you look at your statement, you'll see all the money that you're wasting, give it to the credit card company. Because you could be using that money to invest with, for your retirement. You can use that money to fix your house. The banks have money, so we don't want to give money away to the credit card company. We want to keep all of the money at home. And then lastly, you want to make sure you decrease your expenses each month. Because when we have so much debt, because for example, when you buy a house, they look at your debt to your income ratio. So basically, you want to eliminate as much debt as you can. You don't want to have a lot more going out than you have coming in. So it's a great idea to every month to do a financial checkup on yourself, see how you're doing, see what changes you need to make. And also, if you have a credit card, make sure you pay interest on it. You pay extra towards the principal, so that'll reduce your balance. And think of ways how you can bring in extra income. But during this process, you have to change your mindset and think positive. I know when we have a lot of debt, it can cause you to be stressed out. But stay positive and think this is only temporary. And then once we get out of debt, our goal should be not to get any more debt. Because we want financial freedom, because when you have a lot of debt, it affects your physical and it affects your mental. I offer one-on-one consultations, and I have digital products. If you click the link in my description, I'll be happy to work with you. So hit that follow button and follow me weekly, and I will appreciate it.